Hey traders, David Frost, My Strategic Forecast. You're here for another episode of Common Sense Market Analysis. Today is Thursday, January 16, 2025. We are looking at a daily chart of the SPY or SPDR, which is the proxy for the S&P 500. What do we have on that docket today? Well, all in all, the S&P was down a little bit today, but what we have is she ran into the convergence of the 20 and the 50 period moving average yesterday. She's creeping up toward the top end of the big time breakdown candle we talked about last night, and she's found an semblance of resistance. What happens from here? Either she gets rejected at the moving averages, or she eats some time off the clock, builds some energy to go test the highs over here, the high of the breakdown candle, the high of the pivot, which happens to be right around 600. That makes a whole lot of sense. Although there's not been a material change on the chart today, she's basically stuck in between the 50 and 20 period moving average. She was flat a lot of the day, down a little bit, finished down. We'll take that as a negative just going out. It's about how they close them, not about how they trade them. So it certainly was a negative close, closed them on the lows. So it's not a positive. Doesn't mean they collapse tomorrow. It means tomorrow's another trading day and we'll take our cues in the morning session. Of course, no material change on the weekly chart. And as we get toward the end of the week, we'll be keenly interested to see how this week closes. Do we have a reversal week? Does it encompass volume? We'll see what happens tomorrow. Or by the end of tomorrow, does she give up, once again, the 20 period moving average? We'll see. It'll be interesting to note where she finishes the week. Another of note type of situation, we had a bit of a bonanza going on this week from the Lazy Swing Trader Automagical Algo system. We had 2 profit targets trigger Monday. We had 3 profit targets trigger yesterday. We had 2 more trigger today. Now these are interesting, and for this one, or these 2, I'm going to start with crude oil. There's a method to the madness. So you see this big rally that just ensued in crude oil. Nobody wants crude down here, but when crude is up here at 78, 80 bucks. Everybody wants to talk about the healthy economy and expansion, all that stuff. Okay, fair enough. But what does the Lazy Swing Trader Automagical Algo system do in these cases? What's it or what's she picking up? For one, she's long XLE, currently up over 8, almost 9%. Already achieved first profit target. The rest is a risk-free, emotionless trade with another profit target coming up to a chart near you very soon. About Schlumberger, SLB, Lazy Swing Trader, Automagical Algo picked up SLB at 37.03. First profit target 38.86. Second one was today at 41.05. Still a risk-free, emotionless trades with higher profit targets, yet up almost 11% on the trade. Participating in the oil boom. About IYT, this one might look familiar to some of you. In at 67.27, out with a profit target at 71.30. Again, risk-free, emotionless trade, higher profit targets coming. Why does this one look familiar? Well, each and every night we go over the transports, the folks down at the transportation department. And if you'll notice here, and we'll go to the daily chart that we look at every night, you'll notice this line at 15,730. I was telling you about this line at night, and the Lazy Swing Trader Automagical Algo system picked up the same trade in the IYT. Funny how that works. Little housekeeping item, the market is closed next Monday on the 20th of January. Happens to be Inauguration Day also. It is Martin Luther King Day. Regular trading will resume on the following Tuesday, the 21st. What happened inside the numbers today? Anybody make money inside the numbers? Post a comment under the video. And by the way, that deal I mentioned last night with the Lazy Swing Trader Automagical Algo system, giving away 2 months free of the Magic Calculator, it's actually good through midnight tonight. Then it turns into a slipper or however that works, and it's no good after that. Annual plan, 2 months free of the Magic Calculator. All you have to do is make the purchase, email me, and I'll turn on the calculator. Let's check out some numbers inside the numbers. She didn't get very far on the upside, so we never got to the pivot and some of the other resistance numbers. Let's look down below since she had somewhat of a little bit of a sell-off a couple of times today. So we'll look at the flip side situation. 592.80 was an important number. Right smack in the middle of action today, a little below, a little above. That seemed to be what we'll call the center point today, 592.80. What happens if she's below? Well, guess what? Below on candle closes and the bears begin to open the door for another leg down toward 591.12. Not 15, not 10, but 12. And back to the 5-minute chart, came up short here, but did the deal here. We had some front runners in the morning, bought them up anyway, took a nice trade on the long side, and then she did the deal later in the day, right around that 1:45, 2 o'clock time frame, and then took off again right back up. Basically was bantering about most of the day, but needed to satisfy 591.12. Since it was a narrow ranging, quiet type of day, low participation, low volume, what I urge you to do is read the notes, pause the video, go back to the chart and double check the work. It's all in here each and every day. Everything traders need to be successful trading in the S&P, whether you're trading the ES, the micro contracts, options, exchange traded products. It's up to you, whatever you trade. The data is in here. The numbers are in here. Then we have, obviously, stocks on the move. We had one hit its entry objective today. We had Love or Southwest Airlines. Let's go take a look at that chart. 31.50 was the entry objective. There's your 31.50, spiked it, ripped it back up in the other direction, gave you the deal. By the end of the day, 32.31. New math, old math smells like about 2.5%. Just saying. The numbers work. Don't forget about the table of markets we have for Inside the Number and Live Room members. Again, pause the video, check out some of the numbers, put them on your chart, see what happened after the fact. These are on bright and early, call it 0 dark 30 or the night before. What's going on over in Camp IWM? Any material change on this chart? Not really. Made a slight new low today. Finished about 45 cents above where she closed yesterday. We'll give this a she's eating time off the clock around the area of the breakdown candle high that she's running a test of. That's pretty much what's going on at present. No material change from yesterday. What about the folks down at the transportation department? My second favorite market leading indicator, a number one canary in the coal mine, up 161 points today, 1%. The IWM's up 0.2%. Transport's up almost 1%. Is that a hint of something coming? Puzzle piece? We'll put them on the table. Was good for some of our swing trades. We'll take that to the bank. Weekly chart, what's she doing? Running a test of the most recent breakdown candle high in the sequence. Pretty obvious now that you see it, isn't it? Also, broke the chain of the bearish wedgish pattern that we've been discussing. Once she got above the pivot high we talked about right here, closed above it on daily chart, that starts to break the chain. You could see what happened the other day on Tuesday, Wednesday, and today. Broke the chain, no more bearish wedgish type of pattern. That being the case, she's now headed to run a test of the big time breakdown candle high in the sequence on the weekly chart. Period. Full stop. Now, what about the Q people? Down $3.62 today, or 0.7% into the convergence of those moving averages, and somewhat of a rejection in process. When you look at the weekly chart, there's nothing wrong here. Came in to test the 20-week moving average, bounced off of it on the daily chart, getting rejected on a run back up quickly into the moving averages. Not sure we're going to make heads or tails out of that just yet. Into no man's land, which is below yesterday's low, and they fill a gap down here, bounce off the gap back up. She's okay. Come below that gap, she's probably not okay. Write that down. Put it on a sticky note. Those are technical terms. XLF continuing to power forward. Same routine. We're looking at 49.90. Call it $50. Can they recapture $50? Back above all the moving averages. The trend is your friend. We'll take this off. We'll even take this off. We'll call it $50, but we'll call it back above all the moving averages. Trend is your friend. That's where she is at present. Weekly chart came in to run a test of the 20-week moving average. Big time reversal candle this week, back to the northern side. How did the lazy swing trader automagical algo system play that one? Pretty simple. We were long JPM, JP Morgan. Now a risk-free, emotionless trade, having already taken profit. What about Smashmouth? Pretty good proxy for the tech space as a whole. What we have here is a gap and crap. So they were up large in the morning, and they proceeded to drift lower all day long, hence the gap and crap. We don't want to overlook this by accident. This is a good proxy for the tech space, and without the tech space, the whole market as a whole isn't going very far, at least from a bull case perspective. SMH, tough day in the end. Still finished up $1, but it certainly was a gap and crap. Of note, puzzle piece on the table. By the end of the week, we're watching the triangle. What's going to happen relative to the triangle? She's out of time, isn't she? You betcha. Have I told you how much I appreciate each and every one of you? Without you, these videos are not possible. That is true and accurate information. We're pulling the ripcord here today. I'm David Frost, My Strategic Forecast. Thanks again for tuning in to another episode of Common Sense Market Analysis.